Hey people, and on today's vlog, we're going to be playing Regicide by TGG Games. Let's get to it! Hey Meeple people, this is Nick. Today we are playing a solo game of Regicide by TGG Games. This is a 1 to 4 player game that takes about 5 to 15 to 20 minutes and is played by players that are 10 and older. So in Regicide, the point of the game is to go ahead and be able to defeat all of the jacks, the queens, and the kings by getting their health down to 0. Let's flip this over. Yep. So the jacks have 20 health, queens 30, and kings 40. The way you do that is you play various cards that will deal the damage and give you some special abilities. So let's go ahead and go over a turn of Regicide. So let's go back over here, flip that over, and the first thing you do is you play a card or you yield. Playing a card will allow you to do damage to the current opponent and also allot you some special abilities. And they can help you heal, they can help you draw more cards, they can help you do some double the damage, and also shield you from even other players, the jester, queen, or king, or the jack, the queen or the king's attack. So yeah, first you play a card. And then the next thing you do is you will go ahead and activate that suit's power. So there are 4 different suits, obviously in a 52 deck of cards, which this is. Your jokers are these jesters, these little cute little goblin things. And yeah, so let's go over the hearts first. With the hearts, they heal. So any cards that end up in like the future of the discard pile, you'll go to shuffle them, draw however many that the card allows. So this, you shuffle up the discard pile and draw 4 cards, keep them face down, and put them at the bottom of the deck without peeking. And then you flip up the rest of the discard pile that wasn't healed and just put it, as a normal discard pile. And that's what the hearts do. The diamonds here, they go ahead and you draw however many cards the card will allow. So, and you can never go over what you're allowed in a game. So you want to be careful with that. In a solo game, you're going to be the one drawing all the cards and you have a hand limit of 8. In a game that's like 2, 3, or 4 players, you're going to draw a card, then the next person's going to draw a card, the next person's going to draw a card, so on and so forth until you meet that number. And also if you are a player with a full hand, you'll just get skipped, and then the next player that can draw a card will. So that's how the diamonds work, is you get to draw cards with those. Now, this is the clubs. And also this is a familiar, which I'll get into after I tell you more about the clubs. The clubs are the wham bams, and they do double the damage. So if this was, say, a 4 or an 8, you'd go ahead, like say it was a 4. If it was a 4, it would double up. So it'd be 8 instead. So in this case, if it was just the familiar played by itself, aces are worth 1. So it'd be doing 2 damage instead of just 1 because of the club's ability. Clubs doubles the damage, which is pretty strong. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and talk about the spades. The spades ability is like a defense. You defend against all the attacks that come through from the jokers, or just, I don't know why I keep saying jokers. They are, no, they are jokers. Jesters, jokers. Jesters, jokers. Jokers and queens and kings. So this will help you until you defeat the current, so right now we have this joker. Until that joker, all the cards you play will stay up, face up in front of you, because especially for the spades, they defend against the attack. So the jokers, they do, or the jacks, yeah, jacks, oh, I'm getting all mixed up. The jacks only have an attack of 10, so you'll defend 8 of that, and so they only deal you 2. And then the more you have, there's even points where you can actually totally nullify the current, whoever your opponent is attack, but that's okay. So you just don't take any damage. And if you had more players on the field, or like if this was a 2 or 3 or 4 player game, they would always take in consideration all of the spades on the field. So that is the spades ability. Next, we're going to go ahead and move on to dealing damage to the enemy. Easy. You go and look at the number on the card, and that's how much damage you deal. Now, it can be mitigated, it can be increased by if you played a clubs or if you played combos. In this game, you can go ahead and play combos where it's the same number, just a different suit. So in this case, I could play these 2 4s, and I'd get 8 damage to go against my current Jack, Queen, or King. But also, there's a kick to that. You can't go over 10, so you can't just play like all 4 5s. No, you can only play 2 5s, and you can only play 2 4s, but you can play 4 2s. Now, the bonus with that is you go ahead and you will add it. So, like, say I played 2 4s, like so, their numbers would combine. They would combine in damage, they combine for the heart ability, and combine for the diamond ability. But I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. So you'll do the damage, whatever is shown on the card, to the Jack, Queen, or King. And then if that kills them, you will discard them, and you will skip the last phase, which is taking damage. So let's not jump ahead of ourselves. I'm jumping ahead of myself too much. The next thing and the last thing is of a turn is what the damage dealt by the Jack, Queen, or King. And their damage is, like before, 10, 15, or 20. So then you go ahead and say the Jack is dealing me 10, and I don't have any spades there at the moment, so I would have to get rid of 10 value out of my hand. So say this was my hand right here, I'd have to go get rid of like 10 points. So like, I mean points, I just mean a value of 10. So I can do that for 8 of it, and then I can go over 9, 10, 11, 12, and that'd be more than enough to keep myself alive. Now, if you cannot take all the damage, or you can't discard all the damage that is required from whatever your current opponent is, then you lose the game. And in a multiplayer game, still lose the game. If one player dies, then the whole party is defeated. And that's how that works with dealing damage. And again, if you have a spade out, whether it's just a solo game or a game with multiple people, you will go ahead and subtract all the spades. So you might not take any damage, or you might take just like a little bit. Because if I had this 8 out, I would only be taking 2 damage, which is awesome. So that's a whole turn of the game of Regicide. You go play a card, activate abilities, deal damage, and then you take damage from the enemy. So, and in a solo game, there's a couple of things that are pretty cool. The Just Jokers are these little goblins here. They allow me to draw more cards at the beginning or at the end, but I only have 2 of them. But that's, if you have these at the end, then you kind of get like a better win. Or if you don't, then, it's like a bronze. If you don't have any, it's a silver. If you have 1, it's a gold if you have still 2 left over. But yeah. So that's a little bit of overview of Regicide. Let's talk about the combos. I talked about them a little bit earlier, but you can play combos as long as they don't go over 10 of the value. And they have to be the same number. So like 4 in different suits, you can go and play them together. But the card that kind of breaks that rule are the familiars. Familiars can be played with other cards. It doesn't matter what, it doesn't have to be the same number. It can be with any suit. So say I did these 2 together, that's 9. And then for the club's ability, you will have 9, and then it'll make it 18 damage because the clubs double up. And also with for this turn at least, that 8 will be a 9 for defense. And so you'll defend yourself 9 instead of just 8. But also the thing I forgot to mention earlier is whatever the suit of the enemy is, that suit ability is nullified. So I can't use any of my heart cards for their ability. I can still use them to damage the Jack, but I can't use the ability until it switches. Now, in a when you get to 3 and 4 players and you start having these guys can switch their ability from not just drawing cards. Well, that's for the solo. For the 3 to 4 players, you can use these. Someone can draw it, and before anything, they can go ahead and nullify like a current enemy. So you don't have to obey the okay. So if I nullified this jack right here, then I'd be able to use the jack's ability or the heart's ability. So I'm pretty sure I just went over everything. I know I'm not as good as Sarah when we start talking about rules, but I hope I answered everything or went over everything in a good way. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. And we'll get back to you guys at the midpoint of this game. All right, see you guys in a sec. Toodles! Welcome back, Meeple people, and how's it going? So this is midway through the game. I have killed 4 jacks and 2 queens, and so now all I have left is 2 queens and 4 kings. It's going alright. I already had to use one of my jokers, so to make sure I didn't die, I drew back up. So anytime I use one of those, I discard any cards I have in my hand, and then draw back up to 8 cards, which helped me from being too much in a tight spot with some of these queens. I didn't want to totally die. And there's this ability, what I was telling you earlier. At the first thing you can do, you can go ahead and play a card or yield. Yield is just you skip everything and you go straight to the damage, and then you hopefully have the cards to survive. And maybe one of if you're playing in a 2 to 4 player game, someone will help you out and get you some cards. But yeah, it's been intense. I really like this one as a solo, and I'm trying to hold off to our final thoughts because just it being solo is just for me, and just for me and Sarah, it's just I really like this game as a solo. And I don't know, it gives me that saying it's like solitary is like a slap in the face to this game, because I love what they did with a 52 card deck. The artwork, I'll have the description of the link in the description below to the artist, because I've seen this artist on Instagram. I always liked all their drawings and all that and all this stuff, especially when they did character drawings like this. I just really enjoyed it, and when I busted this game open, I saw it and I was like, oh, I remember this. I don't know the person's name off the top of my head or their Instagram handle, but I will have that in the description below, so you can go ahead and check out more of their artwork, because this is just phenomenal. I think this is just really cool. And like I said before, everything they've done with the game, using the cards and the suits as abilities, it's like the designer really went ahead and just reinvented a playing card deck, which is really awesome. And I just love the artwork and the artistic liberties they took. So yeah, this is really cool. Doing all right so far, and I'm geeking out a little bit on this game. But just to get you guys the meat. The reasons why you might want to check out this one is, again, really great solo. Again, I think I'm jumping ahead again to the final thoughts, but I really enjoy this one. Sarah didn't like it too much, or she didn't care for it too much, and I didn't really care for it as more than a solo, more than one person playing. But as a solo, I'm just straight loving it. So I have 2 more queens and 4 more kings. I don't know which order they're coming out at. At this point, I cannot use heart cards to heal, so I can't get this queen maybe back into the tavern deck. And I only have 1 joker left to help me with getting some cards in a tight spot. So hopefully I can hold him off until I get to the kings, but we'll have to see. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back in, and yeah, jump back into it and get back to you guys at the end of the game and to my final thoughts. So I will see you guys soon, and in a second, toodles! So if you kind of got it from my facial expressions there, I lost. And I got really screwed on when I got past my queens. My first king was diamonds. So when he's up to bet, I can't use any of my diamonds abilities, so I couldn't draw any cards. And that just killed me. And also, I didn't really have any diamonds in my hand, which just sucked. But even though I lost, I really enjoy this as a solo game. It's like one of those games that you play just to calm yourself down, relax, sit outside, play. I really enjoyed it as a solo. Sarah didn't really mind it too much, or didn't care for it too much, as just playing it more than just one person. It is a little mathy. You gotta, it's not really that mathy, but you're always kind of like thinking, okay, how much damage did I do to the current enemy, and how much more do I have to do, what cards? So you really gotta, make sure you have a way of keeping track of all that information, and just make it a lot easier. Like, I like pulling up a calculator on my phone. I'm not a math whiz. I can't just do all that in my head, so I need a calculator or a scrap sheet of paper to help myself. But other than that, I really like this. I really like what the designer and the team did to reinvent a 52 card deck. I'm always playing like new different games that involve just a basic deck of cards, but this is kind of like more of that hobby twist, where it's like, I love the artwork. Artwork's great. I really enjoy what they did with like the jacks, the aces, and everything. Like, no card is the same. They have like a similar theme, like the hearts will have like potions because you're healing from that. The familiars are all little animals that you can attach, and then the clubs, warrior types, and the spades, kind of like more tankish shields, people that will keep you safe. And it's just really enjoy the artwork in this. Again, like I said, the artists that did this, I've seen them on Instagram, and I really enjoy always going through my feed and seeing all their new stuff. And I will have a description to their Instagram account in the description below. But man, I really, TGG Games really hit it out of the park with this one. Yep. So that is, again, Regicide by TGG Games. It's a challenging cooperative card game. Yeah, I would definitely say that's the thing I'd say about it. I really enjoy it. Again, I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but the way they have done the design with a 52 deck of cards, and as a solo game with the jokers, even the jokers are used in this game, and I think I spent them too early. I don't know. There was points where I had to spend them more. I was going to die even sooner, but I really wanted to go ahead and at least get as close as I could to the end. And that was, again, I had still one king that finished me off, and then I had two other kings behind that. So I was really in the actually, really the other king, this king really finished me off. I killed him, but then the next one was just able to kind of like just take that easy like swipe at me, so I wouldn't be able to defend or wouldn't have any cards. But yeah, it was a good game. I really enjoyed this one. And if you like, cooperative games, if you like a solo variants of games, even the cooperative, it's not bad. I just didn't really care for it. I liked how when you gathered cards, when you played any diamonds, you would draw one card, and then it was kind of like helping out the team, the campaign, the group of adventurers, that you would all draw at least one card, and then it would come back around to you, so you can maybe get another card. Really good job with how this game works. And again, having all the spades out there to defend, and then taking the account of all the spades placed on the field, that would boost up the defense, so you could really, mitigate some damage. I mean, really enjoyed it. Again, if you want to check it out, please do. I'll have the BGG link and any other links that I can for it. I'll go see if, and also put TGG Games in the link below, so you can go ahead and maybe even get a copy from them. But yeah, I really recommend Regicide by TGG Games. All right, well, that was our vlog. I hope you all enjoyed it. and I hope you all didn't miss Sarah too much and you could bear it with me. But yeah, if you like our content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and keep so you can keep up to date for what we got going on. All right, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Toodles!